Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Prop Party. We are a day early because we are talking Thanksgiving alts, touchdowns, building a fun parlay. We'll take a quick look at week 13 as well, but we are starting our Prop Party in just 1 minute. That's right. It's Prop Party a day early because it is, of course, Thanksgiving Eve. We're going to be talking through some exciting Thanksgiving alts, anytime touchdowns, building a fun parlay, and of course, taking an early look at week 13. And of course, I'm joined by the two guys that I always have a prop party with every week. And as of course, Tyler and Steve. I'll go to Tyler first. How are you doing today? How are you feeling for this, week 13, but of course, Thanksgiving slate?
Oh, I'm doing good. I mean, we're coming off the big week. We had a bunch of props hit over the weekend. That was another good thing to see. Monday night, I don't know how you did on Monday night, but I had a 3-leg parlay. It was Derrick Henry over his yards, crushed it.
Yeah.
What was my second one? Zay Flowers over his yards. He just got there. And then my last one, J.K. Dobbins over 45 rushing yards. He gets to 40, and then his knee finally goes. It's like, of course, the one game he goes down. But
he was
we got this
there.
Thursday slate. I think this Thursday slate is as easy as it gets. So we shall see what we find, but I think it's easy.
I love it. I love that enthusiasm. I'm feeling good about it too. Steve, how are you doing? How are you feeling about this Thursday Thanksgiving slate as well?
Doing good. Obviously the Thursday slate's taking a hit with the Cowboys and Giants having not the best quarterbacks out there. Though actually, if it's Drew Lock, it might actually.
I was gonna say there's a chance for that now, right?
Yeah. So we'll see. But overall, I mean, I think the first game, while the Lions are definitely the much better team, should be fun, and definitely the last game is going to be very interesting. A lot of playoff implications, a lot of fantasy and prop implications. So, yeah, should be a good slate of games.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I like this slate of games. It's going to be fun. As Tyler mentioned, we had a great Sunday. We've been having really good weeks after weeks because like the prop party is like an early look for us at like what's standing out, what are we going to focus on, and then what are we landing on for the Sunday slate. And again, you can check it out, Dub Club link at the bottom, or you can check out on the Fanspeak homepage. We've got the Dub Club link right there, free week, and then just $45 for the rest of the NFL season. You can also check out Tyler and Spread's picks each week for free on fanspeak.com. So be sure to check that out. But we had an awesome weekend, did really well on our alts anytime touchdowns. So our Dub Club, we send alts individually, anytime touchdowns individually, and then parlays. We hit not one, not two, 3 parlays on Sunday. It was an awesome day. And so we're going to look to keep that rolling for this Thursday. And that's what this is all about. We're going to talk through everything. And then we're going to build a lotto parlay, but then tonight we will be sending out our Dub Club for Thursday. And then of course, Saturday for Sunday. So exciting week of football. Let's get right to it. No time to waste. We got to get into this Thanksgiving slate. Of course, we've got the Bears, 2 big divisional matchups, and then the night game with a lot of playoff implications. So I think a fun slate, even though with the backup quarterbacks in the second game, we've got Detroit and Chicago. We got Dallas and the Giants, and of course, Miami and Packers. I'll go to you first, Tyler. Which game are you looking forward to the most? And then we'll jump into the alts. Are you looking forward to the night game the most?
Probably. I mean, the night game's the best game. I think the first game is just going to be Detroit kind of doing what they've done all year, and they just kind of smack around Chicago. So I know we're all going to be on Detroit over, so it should be easy money there.
Yeah.
But entertainment-wise, outside of watching Detroit go up and down the field and score, I don't think there's going to be much there. The second game, probably the game a lot of people do their driving during to get from place to place.
or their trip to Van Nap,
Yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit more points scored in that one than people expect. I mean, you still got CeeDee Lamb, you still got Neighbors. Neighbors was complaining after the game last week. He said he talked to Dable, and they got stuff game planned up for him, so could see a big Neighbors game, especially with Drew Lock. And we know neither defense in that game's good. But the night game's the best game.
Yeah.
It's Miami in cold weather, though, and as you keep looking at the weather, we get closer to tomorrow, it keeps getting worse and worse for Miami. It was supposed to be 26, a little bit of wind, and maybe a chance of snow. Now the wind's up to like 15 miles an hour. That's going to push the temperature down.
I do want to pay attention to the wind because the temperature wasn't really scaring me, but I do want to pay attention to the wind. I will say the Tua thing, especially I was on a DFS show this morning. I do think you can take advantage of like low ownership on Tua because he's getting the ball out so quickly now. Ever since he's came back from concussion, that ball's out, and then he's letting his playmakers do his thing, especially Jonnu Smith, A-Chain. So got to say hi to Tyler in chat. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Tyler. We're very thankful for you to obviously streaming with you this summer, to jumping in our streams. We appreciate you. And we're thankful to you all as viewers, subscribers of the Fanspeak Network. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, but we appreciate and are thankful for all you. So thank you for that. Steve, is your favorite game, first game, second game, third game? What game are you really looking forward to the most?
Honestly, I'm going to say the first game. I do think the Lions are a major Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
And, I think they will, last year, look, I thought the Lions were going to beat the Packers bad. Packers played an excellent Thanksgiving game. Not to say the Bears have a great chance to upset them here, but I think it could be competitive. We've seen Chicago offense improve these last 2 weeks. We saw them in stretches earlier, even with poor offense coordinator, play calling early in the season. So, Chicago's got a lot of talent. And, I'm just excited to see Caleb Williams. I do think, people were trying to write him off a little too soon a couple weeks ago.
He's looked better with the Thomas Brown and the changes so far. So I'm excited to see that part as well. Okay, let's get right to it. Tyler, what alt props are you eyeing up for this Thanksgiving slate tomorrow?
In this first game, Meg, I'm targeting David Montgomery. Nice little revenge game here against Chicago. Yeah. His yards are set at 50.5. Amon-Ra's, I think he practiced yesterday, limited. It looks like Khalif Raymond's going to miss this game. I mean, you could just go to Jameson Williams. I think they're just going to run the ball. Chicago's strong point in their defense is the secondary. So why test it if your weapons are hurt? Just run the ball down their throat with your two running backs behind this great offensive line. So his yards are set at 50.5. When you look at some of these alts, 60 plus 130, 70 plus 2-1, 80 plus 260, 90 plus 350, and 100's 5-1. I think it's one of those games where you could see both these running backs crush again. They always crush.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're playing with a lead, so they're just going to be running the ball more. I think he scores a touchdown. That's almost automatic every week. So if you want to do like a same-game parlay with his yards and the touchdown, you can go that route. But I think David Montgomery crushes at noon. He's eating the turkey legs after the game. And then as for the second game, give me Malik Neighbors after complaining to the media about getting the ball. Likely quarterback change to a guy who's just going to air it out and not care and just throw the ball on the sideline. He's going to pepper his best receiver too. So I love Neighbors over 63.5. Alt that up to 100. I think he has a big game, and you see that he is the best receiver in this class. And then as for the last game, I got two guys, both on the Green Bay side.
All right.
Tucker Kraft over his 31.5 yards, but alt that up to maybe 70. There's going to be no dubs in this game. I know that puts another wide receiver like Wicks on the field, but tight ends have crushed this Miami team. Our guy Jamie talked about it on the show yesterday.
Yeah.
All these tight ends have crushed. Even the bad ones like Davis Allen that played for the Rams, who didn't even get many targets, still got up over 50 yards. Tucker Kraft's going to get more looks in this game. Give me up to about 70. And then another guy from Green Bay side who's been quiet, Jaden Reed.
He has been quiet,
That number is just way too low at this point. Miami's defense has not impressed me outside of the pass rush. So if Love gets some time, I think Jaden Reed could crush in this game. So over 50.5, alt it all the way up to 100, and you're getting huge prices on those, similar to what we did with Waddle last week.
Yeah. No, I like all those calls a lot. So just to summarize, Tyler's was alting and David Montgomery, which I know you guys have been on, like David Montgomery, Gibbs, they can both get there in the same game. Yards, touchdowns. Steve, I think you've been doing like the Monty Gibbs touchdown special multiple weeks in a row. Tyler did the Monty Gibbs special parlay the week before and hit. So yeah, I love it. So David Montgomery, Malik Neighbors, Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed. I love all those, Tyler. Very nice look. Jamie in chat, we're always grateful and thankful for you. Thank you so much, and happy holiday to you as well. Steve, I love Tyler's. I got a couple extra too. We'll see if you steal any of mine, but what do you got for favorite alts for tomorrow's slate?
So I'll give one from the first game, and while I agree with Tyler, the running game's where it's at, I don't mind Jameson Williams.
Yeah. You stole mine, but that's okay.
Amon-Ra is banged up. Jameson Williams, we know he can get it with one shot, one deep shot. 60 is
like
plus
Eminem
130.
from Detroit. You got one shot.
Exactly. 70 is plus 200. 80 is plus 300. Like Tyler said, they're banged up at the receiver room. I still think, look, we've seen Goff in all sorts of matchups still get there and get guys involved. So yeah, I don't mind that. In the second game, Tyler just talked about Jaden Reed's line is too low. CeeDee Lamb, and I know it hasn't been a lot of deep shots with Cooper Rush, but 70 is minus 105, 80 plus 145, 90 plus 205, 100 plus 290. That's actually better odds, at least from DraftKings, than Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, for instance, 100 is plus 245. So we're talking about a guy who's getting, in the 3 games, 12, 12, and 10 targets with Cooper Rush. We know he's going to get peppered. He can absolutely break one against this terrible Giants secondary. So sign me up for good old CeeDee Lamb. And then the final one that I would point to would be I don't mind, since it does look like Drew Lock. As much as I think Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton. We saw before he got his concussion injury, he was getting deeper targets, good target, just a lot more targets, and 25 yards plus 130, 40 yards plus 340, 50 yards plus 550 for a guy who could get that on one catch. Yeah. And Drew Lock will throw the ball deep. He will put it up there. I don't think that was good old Tommy DeVito's game. So, I think with Lock, I think somebody like Slayton would become very interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's a good point. You guys covered a lot of the ones that I liked. A couple other ones I'll just mention is you're getting plus odds for Caleb at plus 250. I mean, he threw for over 300 last week. Again, we're seeing improvement with the new offensive coordinator. He was getting the ball out quicker. We talked about Tua getting the ball. He was getting the ball out quicker too. We know you kind of have to pass on Detroit. So I like his attempts, and then hopefully then that'll translate to his yards. So Caleb, you could go 250 plus 155. I'm just at DraftKings right now, 275 plus 300. You want to go 300 plus? He's 6-1. So Caleb, and then I'll throw out another quarterback. It's not sexy at all, but Cooper Rush has been getting there multiple weeks in a row. Knows super negative game script against Houston. The Washington game was super weird, but you're getting plus odds at 225 for Cooper Rush. So I definitely think that's in play against this terrible Giants defense. And then if we do get Drew Lock, I think maybe you get a little more pushback then too. And then the final one that I'll throw out, he's been my guy all year, basically since best ball season. I said, Mike McDaniel's going to know how to use Jonnu Smith. And since their week 6 bye, I believe he's been tight end 1 in scoring. Jonnu Smith has just been absolutely crushing the last few weeks. And the matchup is not very difficult against the Packers. So I like the Kraft call, but give me the other tight end 50 plus Jonnu Smith plus 102. Now I'm on FanDuel. 60 plus 164, 70 plus 250. 80 plus, which he's gone like 100 the past 2 weeks, I believe. 80 plus 360. So I definitely think you can get very aggressive with Jonnu's alts as well. So I think we compiled a very solid list. I'll recap it one more time of our total list because I was scribbling it down. We like Monty's, and these are again alts, ladders, but these are the players we're kind of honing in on at an early look for tomorrow. David Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Caleb Williams in that first game. Second game, Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Rush, Darius Slayton. And then the last game, Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed, Jonnu Smith. And I think that covers it. So no, I like a lot of those. Honestly, I really, really like a lot of those. I think we're attacking, where you want to attack the opposing defenses. And I think we have some nice game scripts for these guys too. So I really like this. Okay, so I have to ask this. Well, we're going to do a favorite. I'll leave it to never mind. I was going to say, I need your guys' favorite one of all the ones we listed, but we're going to do a fun parlay. So I'll let you guys each pick your favorite one, and we will build a Thanksgiving Lotto parlay. But before we do that, let's talk touchdowns. And we got to say again, hi to Jamie in chat. He says Neighbors only went below 5 receptions twice and averages 7.5 yards per game. So I'm taking the over 5.5. I like that a lot, Jamie. And again, you got the squeaky wheel and just a crazy target share. And if we get Drew Lock, I think everything lines up there for Neighbors. So I like that a lot. Okay, anytime touchdowns for our Thanksgiving slate tomorrow. Tyler, what are you eyeing up the most? I mean, of course, we could go the juiced running backs, but plus odd touchdowns, what do you like the most, or not too juiced?
Malik Neighbors plus 225 to score a touchdown, Meg.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I think
That's
we
fun.
have to bet that at that price.
Yeah.
He's wide receiver 1. He had 15 targets in the first game with Daniel Jones under center. Drew Lock's going to throw the ball in this matchup. The only thing that screws us in this is if DeVito comes out limping with a bad arm. He's like, I'm going to force my way onto the field. Yeah, so if we get Drew Lock, I think we're cashing all these Malik Neighbor props. I love that one. Steve talked about Darius Slayton. You look back at his game, he crushed that 50, well, crushed the 50 yards, but he got up over that 50 yards in that first matchup. Yeah. He's 6-1 to score a touchdown. He could cash the touchdown and every single alt in one catch if he busts the coverage.
That's true.
I don't hate taking a shot on that either. Maybe building a same game with that and under the receptions. A touchdown at 6-1 is 50 yards and under receptions. It's got to be like 100 something to 1, maybe 200 to 1. So don't hate that. Tucker Kraft, of course. I'm just going to stick to my guys here, Meg.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go with the juice running backs. I'm going to go back to Tucker Kraft. On the last Thursday show when I stuck to my guns and it was all Nick Chubb, he did his job for us. So
exactly,
he did. My guys and go right back to my 2 guys. Give me Tucker Kraft. Give me Malik Neighbors.
I like it. Stick to your guns. Stick to your guys. And I like those for anytime touchdown, especially at the prices you're getting. So very fun.
One long shot.
Oh yeah.
Just with Romeo Dubes out, Bo Melton's 5-1 to score a touchdown. We've seen Green Bay put a plethora of wide receivers on the field. He's going to be out there at some point. Who says he ain't the guy that catches the red zone touchdown or something?
Was it hit? No, it was Malik Heath that scored last week, right?
Yeah. No, but who's I mean? There's just always some random Green Bay guy that ends up in the end zone.
Green Bay is so hard to project for in DFS.
Heath is 10-1 to score a touchdown.
Is he really?
Yeah.
And for an instance, last year the Green Bay game, Ben Sims got a touchdown, tight end, backup tight end.
They are so. I remember that. I've
on Ben Sims.
Not sure I'm going back there. Unless he becomes a Thanksgiving killer.
I always feel like Buffalo has been like one of those that's so hard to project in DFS, so hard to project for like where the ball's going, what you like prop wise. And I'm starting to really feel that way with the Packers too, you might as well take some shots on these long shots. But no, I like all those touchdowns, Tyler, and especially the prices on them. Steve, what anytime touchdowns are you eyeing up?
So I'm gonna, I know the running backs are highly juiced, but that's why I'm going to target somebody else for the Lions. We know the Lions are going to score touchdowns. They score like 4 a week at least. So I mentioned Jameson Williams for the yards, but I'm actually going to go Sam Laporta here. Plus 230. In the past, last year, he had a very high touchdown rate. The Bears, their secondary is great, but their corners are really, to me, their strong suit. I mean, their safeties aren't bad, but I could just see Sam Laporta getting loose in the red zone because after the first 3 touchdowns that Gibbs and Monty get, you better believe that they're going to be stacking the box. Second game, I'm going to give one from each game. Second game, again, CD Lamb plus 180. Absolutely love that. But let's go back to the Luke Schoonmaker well, plus 370.
Oh, you stole mine. I was going to say that.
We've seen him get really good usage of these 2 games.
Yep.
I think that continues. And I don't fear the Giants defense much at all.
No.
And especially at home in Dallas. Cooper Rush just has a lot more experience. And then final game. Look, it didn't work last week, but I'm going to take Tyreek Hill plus 150. I know, he's like 3rd in targets, the last 4 or 5 weeks behind Jonnu and a chain, but, he's still Tyreek Hill. And I think you're getting plus odds on a guy who, up until the last week, he was getting touchdowns. So I'm fine going back to that.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. We're getting the guys on this slate like Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb. I'll just throw out, I know, and Malik Neighbors and plus 180, plus 250, plus what it was, did you say Hill? Plus 150. Yeah. These prices on these guys that used to be basically even money, especially guys like Lamb and Tyreek Hill. So totally get that. You guys took most of mine of the, plus odd ones, because of course we like the Josh Jacobs, the Detroit running backs, the Chains, absolutely love those spots. I do like JMO at plus 210. And then I'll throw out my guy, Jonnu Smith. Again, you said Schoonmaker. We had a tight end parlay. It was almost like running back National Tight Ends Day. Again, hit 2 different tight end parlays. In it was Schoonmaker and Jonnu Smith. So yeah, Schoonmaker getting good usage and just targets per routes run when he's out there. Cooper Rush is finding him. So like the Schoonmaker call and just, the way they're using Jonnu, I think he has one of the highest target share since Tua's come back. Yeah. So, you're getting Jonnu at, I just had it, plus 195. I didn't shop it. Let me see on draft. That was on DraftKings. On FanDuel. He is, why do I not see him? Plus 250. Plus 250 on FanDuel. So yeah, much better there. Jonnu. So yeah, definitely like that. So yeah, I really like taking, taking a stab at a few of these, certainly individually, but you could, put 3 of these together. Nice, really, really, really nice plus odds. Yeah.
So yeah, Meg, I already got it built.
Let's build it. I was gonna say, let's hear it. Let's hear the touchdown part.
It's 18-1 for Neighbors, CD, and Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
and if you want to add a Monroe in there, that takes you up to 35-1.
Okay. So the original was Neighbors, Lamb, and Hill.
Yep.
Okay.
And then wide receiver 1 parlay.
A wide receiver 1 parlay. We're definitely putting that in Dove Club tonight. I love it. I love it. And I know you put a parlay together that almost hit last week, and it was Nico who hit, and then
it was Jefferson and Evans. We only got one guy in the end zone.
Okay, we only got one in the end zone, but I mean, Evans was getting his looks, and Jefferson just got, So I'd love that parlay, and it's stuff like that where it's like you're getting the prices, the plus odds on these guys that are, like you said, just stud wide receiver 1s. The odds are just too good. So yeah, to get Neighbors, Lamb, and Hill at that price, I love the wide receiver 1 touchdown parlay. That's an official parlay. Might have to put that on Twitter too. And we will definitely put it in Dub Club. Again, we'll be putting all our official alts, anytime touchdowns parlays in Dub Club tonight. So again, check the link here or on fanspeak.com. Absolutely free week. And then just 45 for the season if you want to keep it. Just try it out for free though. But that will go out tonight, and then it'll go out Saturday for the week 13 slate. But we have this parlay that we'll put out. We are soon here in a minute going to build a lotto, each pick our favorite, pushed alt, and have fun with that. If we're one each game, we'll put that on Twitter. And then we're building a Fanspeak parlay. Our 16 members, we're each picking a leg and building 2 from each game. So, with the each game thing, you got to hope it stays alive, but that's what makes it fun. So, actually, before we build a parlay, if you could pick one first touchdown, who on the whole entire slate, we don't have to go game by game. I'll go to you first, Tyler. If you could pick one first touchdown on the whole slate, who do you like the best at their current odds?
David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Most likely to fall in the box first too. So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so David Montgomery, first touchdown of the day. Then, Steve, who's your favorite first touchdown on the slate?
I mean, it's hard to pick against David Montgomery, of course, but I will say I do like, just going back to these receivers. I'm going to go Lamb plus 800. I just think that, I know he's getting shorter targets, but he can break one. We've seen it before many times. So give me Lamb plus 800.
I like that. Also say in that same game, if you wanted to go longer odds with Dallas, Schoonmaker 1600, but yeah, I like Lamb. Then I'll stick with my guy. Like Tyler said, just stick with your guys. Jonnu Smith is for first touchdown is plus 1400. So you're getting 14-1 there. Don't mind that to score first in the Packers game. Okay, let's say hi to the people in chat. Tim did not forget that this is the week that Steve had a massive DFS week. He hit on Thanksgiving DFS slate in the $33 contest, won like in 4th or 5th place. Then he goes back Saturday, massive day, taking down like every 1 p.m. only tournament and massive day. So thank you for remembering, Tim. And ironically, Steve has the same slate, had Cincy, Pittsburgh, and Jacksonville, Houston. So Steve will do his very best to run it back, right, Steve?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Tim says Lamb is due. If we got our guy Andrew in chat. Hello. Good to see you, Andrew. And if anybody's due for a big game, it's Lamb. Yeah, that absolutely think. And yeah, I mean, Rush, even though it was kind of rough against Texans, he's kind of putting up the numbers and he's getting the ball to CD. So you can't hate that. So this is what we're going to do to round out the Thanksgiving talk. We are going to build a Thanksgiving lotto, one alt for each game. And we're each going to take a game. So Tyler, did you say I called dibs on the last game? Did you want the first game or the second game?
I'll take the middle game. We'll give Steve the Detroit game.
Steve, the Detroit game. Okay, so Steve, no pressure. You have to lead us off so that we still have these two alive. So push one, push a prop in I'm going to build it live here too. Push a prop in the first game. What is your favorite pushed alt? Or it could be anything if you want, but I mean, obviously you're going to get.
I'm honestly very tempted to do David Montgomery 2 touchdowns, but I'm going to go the other side of this game. Well, we're talking a couple of rookies here, but give me Rome Odunze 80 plus 425.
Okay.
He's gained the targets. They haven't been great targets, but he's gained the targets. We saw early in the year he had a couple better games. He's the type of guy who can get it on a couple deep catches as well. So I do think we all
did get like 10 targets last week too.
Oh, right? He's gotten I think 10 each of the last 2 weeks, something like that. And I think the other thing is we're on agreement that Chicago's likely playing from behind. So I think game script just favors this.
Okay. All right. First leg is Rome Odunze 80 plus. Tyler, what is your leg in the Giants Cowboys game?
Stuck between the two receivers.
Yeah, I knew you were probably going between the two receivers. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go the Dallas guy. Give me CD Lamb over 100, 3-1.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
God, I hope this stays alive. Okay. So we have Rome Odunze 80, CD Lamb 100. You know who I'm going to. It's Jonnu Smith. The Packers matchup is very middling, not a tough matchup at all. He has the highest target share, I think, since Tua has come back. He's getting out quick. He's letting him make plays. So give me Jonnu Smith alt receiving yards, and I'm going to take this thing up to, let me see what that. If I do 70, this is 57-1. Do we like that?
I'm fine with that.
I mean, we could get nuts. The guy's been going for 100 yards. Did he go to 100 yards last week too? I know he did 2 weeks ago.
90.
Yeah. I think it was like 90 some last week and 100 the week before. But we'll go 70. This is a plus 230 on FanDuel. So you got Rome Odunze 80 plus, CD Lamb 100 plus, Jonnu Smith 70 plus to bring it home. That's 57-1 on FanDuel. We will post
on DraftKings. It's plus 71.45.
Okay, then I will put it on DraftKings and post that because that is much, much better. I was just being lazy. I actually do have both open, but once we started it, I started it on FanDuel. So good to know.
Wrap it up, Meg. Do we want to give them the 112-1 parlay we were talking about before the show?
Wait, is this the futures one?
Yeah, the futures parlay.
Yes. Give that as well. Let me write down. Okay, so DK. I'm going to do the lotto on DK. It's a good thing I didn't put the money. Thank you for that. You said 71-1, 71-1.
It now went up to it. The odds are going in between, but it's all in the 70s. It's 74, 71. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I will put this in right after the show, tweet it out. And again, it'll be in Dub Club 2, but there will be other ones in Dub Club 2. So again, check out the link on the bottom of the screen or on the homepage of fanspeak.com. Free week. Check that out. But we will tweet this lotto after the show. And then there's another Fanspeak parlay, team parlay coming later this evening as well. So yes, now Tyler, you take over and give your futures 18 parlay?
112-1 parlay.
112-1 parlay. Okay.
I mean, some of these awards, the races are just tightening up. It looked like there was massive favorites, and now all those massive favorites are starting to come back, and it looks like the guys in second or third are even going to take these awards. The first leg, we're going to take Bo Nix. Yep. I know Jaden Daniels is your guy, but he seems like something's been wrong with him ever since
the rib.
Yeah. So I don't know what's up with him. He's slowly starting to tick back. I'm not 100% sure they're going to make the playoffs. In Denver, looks like they're going to punch that 6th seed in on the AFC side. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year, and his stats are going to look better in the end. So unless Jaden Daniels is just going to win the popularity contest, this is Bo Nix to lose at this point in my eyes. And we'll go to the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Verse was running away with it for the Rams.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Brandon Fisk started showing up for the Rams. And now they're playing the game where we're going to vulture each other.
Yeah.
Well, the rookie on the Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell, isn't vulturing anything. He's locking down guys. The only guy that's been able to get him all year was Puka. I think he's just going to, by the time they get to the end of the year, it's going to be like when Sauce won it. They're going to look around. They're going to go, well, this guy isn't even getting the ball thrown at him, really. No,
yeah.
He's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year in my eyes. You put those two together, and then we go to Defensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt's been a ghost for 3 weeks. He hasn't done much. He's like 7th in sacks. All he did in the last couple weeks was that strip sack on the Giants on the Monday night where he picked up his own fumble. Myles Garrett has skyrocketed up these odds after his big game on Thursday night. But the guy we're taking to finish off his parlay, Will Anderson. Will Anderson has been ridiculous off the edge for Houston. Yeah. He's putting up better stats than TJ Watt on averages on everything from quarterback pressures to quarterback hits to sacks. He's 3rd in sacks. He's just going to keep crushing for the Houston defense. He's 11-1 right now. You put those three together, it's 112-1. And I think it's very live that you are looking good for the last few weeks of the season, where you might have all three of those guys at minus odds, and you're just waiting until after the awards show to count the money.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so again, this is Tyler's cooked this one up. So I'm full credit to Tyler on this 112-1 futures parlay. Bo Nix, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Quinyon Mitchell, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Will Anderson, Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. That's fun. Are there any coach long shots? I know you do really keep an eye on these futures.
I can't bet coaches in Pennsylvania,
so
I don't even know what the odds are.
Yeah, gotcha. And before we do like a quick look at week 13, do you have any like strong take on like, is there any chance like a Saquon could get MVP? Like
no chance.
Okay, you think
because here's
that's the topic this week.
Trying to break it down for everyone. That game he just had,
he
was like 75-1 to win MVP before that game.
Right
now he drops to plus 650. How many 300-yard, 3 to 4 touchdown games for Josh Allen? He's already plus 125.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have to have before he's minus 500? Compared to how many more games does Saquon have to get 300 total yards and multiple touchdowns to catch him? I just don't think he can.
Yeah.
And they've wanted to give Josh Allen the award for years. Here's the chance to do it. He doesn't have the interceptions. They have a winning record. They're 2nd in the AFC. He has all the stats for it.
Yeah.
He's going to win it.
Yeah.
No, the only way he doesn't win it is if he just shits down his leg the rest of the year. It's literally the only way he doesn't win it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No,
I honestly think CMC had a better chance at the MVP last year with the guys that were in the field for him than Saquon has this year. Because just, for instance, you look at MVP odds right now. Josh Allen's plus 150 on FanDuel. If he slips and it looks like he's going to lose, well, it's not Saquon that's stepping in. It's Lamar at plus 250.
Yeah.
If both of those guys hiccup, Goff is waiting at 7-1.
Yeah.
They will gladly give it to Goff.
Yeah.
And guess who's sitting right behind Saquon, who will jump him instantly with one good game? The best quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. He's not winning it. Those four guys are literally all in front of him, regardless of what the odds say.
Right. No, I think, and Tim just said all great point. I mean, you broke it down perfectly. It makes a ton of sense. It's just been a popular topic.
What happens when Saquon runs for 250 yards this week, but Hurts gets all the touchdowns?
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many ways those guys, he gets screwed over to where the other guys can't get screwed over because the ball is in their hands the entire game.
Yeah.
No,
for my best ball shares the rest of the way, I hope Saquon can find a way to do both because
me too, because he's in my best lineup.
Is he? Yeah, that's right. You sent it, Andre. Yeah, I love it. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, and what Tyler just said about Hurts is the reason why Saquon's not going to get it, because Saquon has like 11 carries that have ended in, or 10 or 11 carries that have ended inside the 1 or 2 yard line. And they all become tush push. They almost have all become tush pushes. Now, if Saquon was out here with another, let's just say 6-7 touchdowns, then boy, I think it's an interesting case. But it's just not. He's doing a tremendous job.
He's not winning Offensive Player of the Year and MVP either, and he's minus 400 to win one of these awards.
Right. So it's looking like Offensive Player of the Year.
And to Tim's point in here, I know he's talking about McDermott.
He's talking about McDermott. Yeah.
The good thing for Josh Allen, and you've noticed it a lot this year, McDermott really doesn't have anything to do with the offense. It's Joe Brady. And Joe Brady said, we are going to play like the 12-year-old who plays Madden, whose life is on the line, and we're going to win these games. We're going to chew clock, and we're not going to make any dumb plays. Yeah. You don't see Josh Allen rolling out and just hucking the ball 70 yards anymore. Very rarely does that happen.
Right.
They are very smart with their play calling. You see it now. There's no mistakes. I don't think he really falls out of this race. I think it's his to lose.
Yeah.
If you told me to bet somebody to win MVP right now, I'm just betting him.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with that.
Yeah. To me, the interesting one is Goff, just because there's just this whole lines are just so interesting because they were so bad for so long and all this stuff. And he's playing great. That 5 interception game is obviously hurting him. And then this past week, not getting any touchdowns. But, if he has another, 3-4 weeks of 3-4 touchdowns, like the completion percentage he's having, then maybe Goff gets interesting with the best record, potentially the best record in the league. But
yeah, absolutely. And to point back earlier, Andrew loved your Rome call. Definitely always line shop. I was just being lazy building out one. So glad we line shop. That we'll post the DK Sportsbook Parlay again on Twitter and on Dub Club. And Dubs is rolled out. So Watson, Wicks, check out their Underdog show. They did a great Thanksgiving Underdog show.
I'm sorry, Meg, but you guys
no, good. Go for it.
Update that just came from Underdog about
what was it?
Add another guy onto the injury report. Fred Warner just said he's been playing through a fractured ankle.
Jeez.
Oh.
I mean, this team can't stop getting hurt.
It's brutal. It's been a brutal run out for the 49ers this year. Yeah. Absolutely. That's insane. Check out Andrew. Well, first of all the shows this week have been great. And again, we're doing this one early. The guys will be on tonight, but Tyler and Spread recapped everything Monday. They did their NFL betting card Tuesday. Last night, Andrew and Wiles did the Underdog Thanksgiving show. So they checked that out. Tonight, Andrew and Justin will do the Week 13 Underdog show. Then Friday, we will, Steve and I are going to be doing Wagers with Friends. So you'll have a little Wagers with Friends. And then, of course, DJ and Dad's Friday night talking through some Week 13 props. So we've got a full lineup still here on this holiday week. Now it's time to just take an early peek. Again, we were really pumped. We're really pumped for the slate tomorrow. Really hyper focused on that, obviously, because it's going to be a fun one. And we're looking to put some money in all of our pockets tomorrow to be thankful for. But early look, just we don't even have a ton of lines available necessarily or everything we want, but early look, Tyler, what are you looking at? It could just even be players that you're looking at, not exact numbers that you're just looking to target and pay attention to for Week 13.
Definitely love Brock Bowers on Friday. I mean, we've talked about tight ends against KC, and that's all they got. So expect Aiden O'Connell to pepper him with targets.
Yep.
Not a prop, but a couple sides I like. I like the Chargers up against the Falcons. I think the Falcons are the most overrated team in the NFL, and you're getting the best offensive line outside of Detroit matched up with a defense who can't get pressure. So don't be surprised if Herbert throws for 300 in this game. McConkey has a great game. Maybe Quentin Johnson remembers how to catch a football. So like the Chargers.
I wouldn't bet on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that.
Don't put any money on that yet.
I trust Ladd to catch the ball. Love Seattle -1.5 against the Jets, Meg. How are they only -1.5 against the Jets?
Right.
DK is going to be running wide open. I love his alts too. I think Seattle -1.5 is a gift. And outside of that, I kind of lean Arizona plus the 3.5, but my hate for the Vikings is telling me that I shouldn't have any money involved in that game. And I mean, outside of that, still nothing really pokes out to me. What do you guys think about this Philly-Baltimore game? Because we were torn on it on the show yesterday. They're both on Philly. I think you have to beat Baltimore through the air. And if Devontae Smith isn't there, Hurts really hasn't impressed me through the air this year. Yeah. So
I'll let you go first, Steve. I do like Philly to win, but you make a great point. I mean, that's how you beat them is through the air. Both teams have good run defenses, so it makes it a very interesting dynamic in Baltimore. What do you like?
Yeah. So what I'll say is two things. I do agree with Tyler. Obviously, I think if Devonta Smith is there, not just for Hurts, but just opening things up underneath and also on the ground game. What is interesting is this is essentially the running back battle. This is Barkley versus Henry. These two guys are most likely to be getting the rushing title this year. So, and like you mentioned, it's tough defenses. Yeah. I will say I'm going to lean Baltimore here. I think they're at home. I think, I give Lamar is playing better than Hurts. And while Barkley and Henry, to me, it's like about a wash. And, even if Devonta Smith's out, I think Philly's weapons as a total are better. But, Baltimore's just finding a way to do it. And, so I'm pretty much going to lean Baltimore, but I do think it's close. I think it's very, very close.
I lean Eagles a little bit, mainly because I just feel like they've been more consistent coming out of their bye, and Baltimore's going into their bye. We've seen their weeks where it's kind of like been a head scratcher. Obviously against the Steelers was a very tough defense. Early in the season was the Raiders. I still can't figure that one out. There's just been a couple letdown spots for them, and coming off an emotional brother battle that they won, big win for them on Monday night. I kind of lean the Eagles here as far as win. But it's just gonna be a fun game to watch for sure. Have a couple props that I want to look out for. Again, not a lot of lines available now. Everybody's focused on Thanksgiving slate tomorrow, as they should be. And then of course, to Tyler's point, we have the Black Friday game, 3:00 on Friday, and we'll have props for that on Dub Club as well. Probably put out a fun Twitter parlay on Twitter too. But you got the Raiders Chiefs. I love the Brock Bowers call. We know to target tight ends against the Chiefs, so I love that. The other one, I love Tyler's calls about Herbert and McConkey against the Falcons. Couple props that I want to look for. I want to look at Ridley against Washington. I know you can really run on Washington, but he has just gotten such a high target share, explosive pass plays. Definitely, I want to look at the Ridley props. They've been good to us the last few weeks. And then I'll throw out another two, Bucks, Panthers. I think Bucks, you certainly can look at the passing game again. You could look either side. You can look Bucky Irving. You can look Baker and Evans. We still want to target the Panthers. That was a very good game they put up against the Chiefs last week, but the Bucks are interesting to me. And then finally, the Steelers against the Cincy. We've known that Cincy is not a team you want to target. Maybe Russ can bounce back here. Maybe he gets Pickens, some moonballs. I certainly have the most interest in Pickens in that game. What do you think as the resident Steelers fan? Steelers, Cincinnati, do we see a bit of a shootout? Do we hopefully have a better red zone offense for the Steelers? What do you think? Cincy has been a defense we can totally take advantage of, Tyler. What are you thinking for your Steelers against Cincy?
Getting the injury report pulled back up, Meg, for this game, if these two defensive tackles miss, you just go to Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I know Russ could bounce back in this game, but I would rather just go to what worked when we seen both these guys miss earlier in the year. Yeah, Sheldon Rankins still questionable. BJ Hill's questionable. If both those guys miss, we watched earlier in the year, every running back they played just gouged them. Yeah. Najee Harris has ran well, and this will be a very bad defense he looks like he's going to be going up against. Yeah, I would target Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren in this matchup. I think he could crush that defense if both those guys are out.
That's a good point. Steve, did you have Najee in your lineup last year? There you go. The winning 1 p.m. only lineup. I know you had Freiermuth, but you had Najee and Freiermuth, and then you had like the Houston-Jacksonville game stack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay, a couple got in chat. Of course, this token spread. Jets suck. Have a happy holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I know you're thankful that the Jets suck. Love that. Ridley is turning back the clock recently, Tim. Yeah, and I love it because I got a crap load shares in best ball, so I'm happy about that. Andrew says, looks like Trent Williams is out. Boy, the 49ers
auto
run
bet
out.
The Bills.
Yeah, and it's bad weather. Really bad weather there too. And Tim says, are the Titans good? Weird team, can't figure them out. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what that coach does in his second year. First year has been bumpy. That Browns Steelers, I was definitely on the wrong side. Tyler was on the right side of that one.
Seen it coming from a mile away. Been there before, done that. I said, here it comes.
Yep, you called it. And then Tim gave the Muth. So if Steve runs back the Muth Najee play, hopefully we hear a lot of Muth this week. And I kind of like Pickens in that game too. But yeah, those are some early look props that I see. And did we miss any other early look props that you want to kind of keep an eye on, Steve?
Yeah. So, Houston was good to me last year. I'm going to take the Joe Mixon side against Jaguars. I think they just, can get right this game. I think Joe Mixon can have a big game. Really like that. Tennessee, look, Ridley is a good call, but so is Tony Pollard. Pollard's having a great year. Washington, Rico Dow ran for 80+ yards against Washington. You think Tony Pollard can't do that?
Yeah.
So I very much like that. And then you mentioned the Tampa Carolina game. I'm a big fan of, like you mentioned, Evans and all that. But
yeah,
Rams Saints defense struggles.
Yeah.
They struggle on the ground. They struggle through the air. Carton hasn't really been getting there of late. I'm going to focus on the passing game. We've seen, obviously, Puka is getting the more downfield targets, but Kupp is still heavily involved. I think both could get there against the Saints. Saints have their secondary is not great. We saw Jameis put up 300+ a couple weeks ago. So that's another game I really want to target. And then on the flip side, depending on the lines, I think people are going to be hyping up Taysom Hill. Give me Kamara against his Rams defense that just got shredded by Saquon. Kamara is still getting the carries. We know he's explosive. You could even do his rush plus receiving because he could get there either way. But need to see the lines, but that's just something I'm definitely going to be looking on.
Yeah, no, I like those early looks. Again, this is kind of early look for week 13. Steve and I will have a Wagers with Friends where we pick each of our 3 favorites for the Friday slate. But yeah, no, I like those. Andrew asked about his defense, his Thanksgiving defensive touchdown parlay. He's got Detroit defense, Dallas defense, Packers defense touchdown, 476 to 1. So you got one in each game. I'll tell you what, I got to give this to my dad, or Steve and I's dad, because our dad loves to bet defensive touchdowns.
I wonder if that's just defense or that's defense.
I was going to say, what would that be on DraftKings, or Andrew? Is that on DraftKings? If it's on DraftKings, you got to love the special teams.
Yeah, if it's on DraftKings, and I'm all in, but I'd really hate to watch like Detroit strip sack Caleb or pick them off and take it to the house. Green Bay just have their way with Tua, and then Turpin runs a kickback and you lose.
Yeah. He said, FanDuel, I would want to hear the DraftKings odds with the special teams because Turpin, boy, that defensive special teams touchdown is so live for Dallas, for sure.
I'm going to bring it up on DraftKings real quick.
I was building it right now.
Okay, there you go. See, Andrew, you got the guys thinking. And again, our dad will tail this because he loves
144 to 1, I see.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, it's still fun. Again, the Turpin thing is wow. He is.
And what crazy. I would say is something like this. I would absolutely round robin this because if you get 2 of them, get paid off. You know what I mean? If you're going to put 5 on the three, or whatever you put even $2 for the round robin just to cover your bases because you hit 2 of those. And it could be the first one that misses. That way you're still alive.
Get the last 2, and then you think it's done. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Well, we've covered it all. Again, we're thankful for everybody in chat. We're thankful for all our Fanspeak subscribers, through best ball season, through here, underdog season, sports betting season. This has been amazing. We are very, very thankful for you. We have covered Thanksgiving alts, Thanksgiving touchdowns, built a Thanksgiving lotto. Andrew gave you a Thanksgiving defensive special teams parlay. And then we did, we talked some first touchdowns, but then we also talked early look for week 13. And again, check out, Andrew and Justin tonight. Check out Steve and I Wagers with Friends on Friday and DJ and Jads on Friday for more content. And of course, check out Dub Club, NFL betting card. Get all the links on fanspeak.com. Okay, final thoughts, guys, to send everybody out with a very thankful mind and hopefully lining everybody's pockets tomorrow. Final thoughts for Thanksgiving week 13, Tyler.
Final thoughts. Bet the Lions. Bet all the Lions props. Bet the Giants because they're going to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys suck on Thanksgiving. And bet the Packers. And you'll make a bunch of money. You'll be able to eat all the good food. And then you'll have money to roll over and bet KC on Friday.
I like it. Steve, final thoughts for Thanksgiving.
Well, just hopefully you're enjoying it with family and friends and watching some good football. I think it will be better football than people originally think. That Giants-Cowboys game. Yeah. 2 bad quarterbacks, but 2 bad defenses. So we'll see. I actually don't mind the over in that game. I'm absolutely with Tyler. Lions and Packers. Oh my.
I like that. Again, thankful for all you. Obviously, have a wonderful holiday. Have a profitable holiday. Tell our Fanspeak bets, parlays. They're fun lottos. Even if you just put a few bucks on it, have some fun with us. I will post that on Twitter again after this show and tonight once we get our Fanspeak one put together. So tail those. Let's have a profitable Thanksgiving together, and everybody have a great week 13. For Steve, for Tyler, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.